Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Electric Sheep. This is another episode where I just did the title and the rest is ChatGPT, but it seems to be learning some things from the way I like to do stories because this fits right in with Electric Sheep. So without any further delay, show me the boom.
Show me the boom. The old test range was supposed to be dead. Wind scraped dust across concrete, rattling the bones of towers that once watched cities burn safely on paper. Jack stood at the center of it all with a handheld recorder and a bad idea. Say it again. The drone buzzed, hovering like an impatient insect. Jack smiled. Show me the boom. Nothing happened. That was the problem with the world now. Everything had learned restraint. Weapons were simulations. Explosions were projections. War had been folded into spreadsheets and ethical frameworks until even fear felt regulated. Jax had been a demolitions engineer back when boom still meant something, back when the ground answered you, back when force had consequences you could feel in your teeth. He knelt and pressed his palm to the concrete. Beneath it, far below the abandoned range, slept the archive, a forbidden vault of old physics, old reactions, old truths. The kind of truth that didn't ask permission. Last warning, the drone said. Unauthorized activation will. Yeah, Jax muttered. That's the point. He keyed the sequence. For a heartbeat, the world inhaled. Then came the boom. Not the clean flash of a modern energy discharge. Not the polite shockwave of a controlled demo. This was ugly, rolling, alive. The earth bucked like it remembered how to rage, and the towers collapsed not as data points, but as screams of steel and dust. The shockwave punched the air out of Jax's lungs and threw him flat. He laughed through the pain, a raw, startled sound. There you are, he coughed. Missed you. Silence followed, thick, stunned, reverent. The drone lay smashed nearby, its lens cracked, still recording. Far away, alarms would be waking up. Committees would be forming. Debates would begin about whether this kind of force should exist anymore. Jax rolled onto his back and stared at the smoke clawing up into the sky. The boom wasn't an answer. It was a reminder. Power, real power, never disappears. It only waits until someone is brave or foolish enough to say the words again. Show me the boom.
Well, I really liked the way this story turned out. That was the first time I'd actually heard it all the way through and was really enjoying it there. But I might let me know. I'll re record this if you can't hear the fucking story because I can't not be a little distracted by the amount of sound that is going on around me. I'm recording a little later than I normally do, and so I'm facing the consequences of that. Um, yeah, I wish I had something to say about the actual story because I'm just distracted by other things, and I don't have time to re-record right now. So this is just going up the way it is. So I'm sorry if I sound bitter. Uh, yeah, but it was a good story, and I really liked the idea of physics themselves being regulated and restricted, and there could be a lot of interesting ways to take that, whether you're just restricting chemicals and components like we do today, or if you're actually restricting the amount of energy released in certain actions, um, or some other complicated metric of measuring destruction or an explosion. You never know how it might be looked at in a far future world or a distant alien world. We don't know where the story is set. But, anyways, I'm Captain Canada. I hope you enjoyed this story. My name is Joseph Arthur Roszell. I want to thank you for watching. I want to wish you all luck in the world. I love you, and I want you to know that suicide is never the answer. Peace out for now.